So welcome back once again. We were discussing about present indefinite, and I had told you people that while teaching your subjects, especially science and in language and literature, we use present indefinite a lot, right? I had also told you to go through the books and try to find out the examples. Now I don't know how many have done that, but anyhow, one short video I had uploaded on my Facebook as well as YouTube channel, in which I have narrated a story of that lottery. If somebody has heard that story, that was all about present indefinite. A man goes to temple every day and requests God. Okay, so that was all in present indefinite. Likewise, I am going to narrate one more story to you, which is also in present indefinite completely, so that you can understand well how in single tense also we can describe the incidents, right? But before we begin, just want to say one thing. For that story which I talked about, that lottery wala story, is all about making efforts. Suppose if we keep going to God and keep requesting every day, भगवान हमें इंग्लिश सिखा दो, भगवान हमें इंग्लिश सिखा दो, मुझे इंग्लिश का मास्टर बना दो, and we don't make any efforts, what will God do for us? It was same. वो बंदा जा रहा है रोज़, he says, हे भगवान मेरी लॉटरी लगवा दो, हे भगवान मेरी लॉटरी लगवा दो, and God appears and एक कस के मुंह पे लगाते हैं और बोलते हैं पहले लॉटरी की टिकट तो खरीद ले. So are we like that person? We need to ask ourselves, क्या हमने ये लॉटरी का टिकट खरीदा है? Have we made any efforts ourselves to learn English or not? And when it comes to making efforts, I've already told you that we need to practice. There is no other alternate. And practice can be of two kinds. If you see the sports persons, anyone who wants to be better in his or her game, may it be cricket or chess or badminton or any other game, how do they become better than what they are today? By doing practice, one thing. Second, by playing with the better players. Am I right? These are two ways. Either you do self practice, in that case you are playing with yourself. Fine. So whatever you know, only that much you can gain, maybe little more. But when you play with a better player, then you come to know what more shots that player has in his armory. May it be chess, what better moves he plays, which you do not have, so you learn those moves. What better shots of badminton the other player can do, which you cannot do, so you learn that also. What better strokes a cricketer has, or what kind of bowling actions the other person has, which you do not have, and you learn. So if we get a chance to play with a better player, it is always better for us than playing with self individually. But suppose if we don't get a chance, then not playing yourselves also, not doing self practice is worst thing. We have to keep doing self practice at least, if we do not get a better player. And those better players also should not be very complacent. If we are better players, why should we play with the players who are not at our level, who are below our level? Why? If they do like this, they will be left alone. They will not get any company to play with. Even the best of the cricketers need the bowlers and the batsmen for net practice, which are below their level, right? Tendulkar, Kohli and all, if there is nobody to bowl to them, how will they learn? How will they become better at their batting, right? So they need somebody to give them net practice. So it is always a mutual benefit. For those who know better English, they need a company. If they are not getting anyone better than them or equal to them, they should always give a chance to the ones who are below their level to come and talk at least. Fine. They will be at least talking in English. And the ones who know that they have somebody better with whom they can go and speak English, they should always try to find opportunities to go to that person request for 5 or 10 minutes of his schedule just to sit and talk in English, not anything else, if they are really serious about getting better at English. Fine. So I hope you have understood what I mean to say. We are players in this field of spoken English, and we have to be better every day than what we are today. If we get better players, go grab that opportunity. If not, practice yourself. Right? So I wanted to tell you about this story in present indefinite. Rohan is the hero of this story, and story begins like this. He belongs to a poor family. Belongs. I won't write all on board. You have to keep noting down whatever present indefinite form of verbs are coming through my text when I am speaking. Right? They don't have enough resources for living a comfortable life. He always complains to God that he doesn't treat all the human beings equally. His parents keep advising him not to do this, but he doesn't listen to them. Although Rohan works hard and never shows any lazy or laid back attitude, but he never gets enough return for the amount of hard work he puts in, no matter whatever he does. While he makes sincere efforts for everything he does, at the same time he ensures that he never forgets to complain to God on daily basis. One fine day, when he goes to bed, he sees a dream in which God appears in front of him. He immediately begins to complain, but God stops him and tells him to first listen to him. He says that he never does any partiality with any of his creations and treats all of them equally. The economical and social divide gets created by human beings only, and it increases with the passage of time. Even today, if he creates a new world and sends 100 human beings with equal wealth and resources in that world, after a few years you will notice that they and their coming generations are not at equal level of economic and social status, as 5 fingers are not alike. Likewise, those 100 people have different abilities, capabilities, IQ, EQ, SQ and AQ, based on which someone gets richer and richer and the other gets poorer and poorer. So I am not to be blamed, but the human beings themselves are to be blamed for their fate. My point gets proved when a worthy son of a poor father becomes rich, when he studies hard and gets a very good job, or when he develops an innovative idea and applies that to doing business and climbs to the pinnacle of success. And also when an unworthy son of a big business tycoon ruins his empire and brings everything down to rags from riches. No doubt you work hard a lot, but you don't use your brain while doing work. You depend only on muscle power and not on intelligence. Start using your brain and find ways to do the work in an innovative and smarter way, which saves your time and increases your output, and you will see your earnings increase and fortune change. I wish you success and a better future. Soon after this, Rohan wakes up and finds himself as a changed person. He immediately makes a resolution and commits to follow the suggestions of God. That very moment, he starts working in an innovative and smarter way and starts investing time saved out of that in his studies, and soon changes his fortune and becomes the richest person of the town. His parents also become very happy and praise their son in front of everyone with proud. This finally brings us to the happy ending of a tragic story. So, who has found the maximum? How many have you found? Okay, we'll discuss this after this video class is over, but I hope you must have got what I wanted to say. If we have mastery over a tense and we are determined to use only that tense to describe certain incidents, we can do that. Whatever I have said using present indefinite, I can say the same thing using past indefinite also. Only thing will be that will be past. So where I am using first form and first form with s or es, that will get changed to second form, and where I am using does not or do not, it will get changed to did not, right? So you need to upgrade your thinking skills to this level. Fine. We Indians are not born English speakers. Our mother tongue is not English, right? We start maybe with Punjabi, like in Punjab and other states, their own mother tongue, and then Hindi to some extent. So what are we left to do? We are left to finally translate our thoughts which come naturally to our mind in our mother tongue to English. So our purpose is just to increase the speed of translation. The very important thing is vocabulary. We should know the meanings of the words which we use in our mother tongue in English. Okay, whether it is a subject or a noun or adverb or any other aspect of English, we should know the meanings of all those words which we say in our mother tongue every day. So that is first step, vocabulary build up. Then we should know how to translate the sentences. That is the methodology which I am telling you, which we have learnt during our student age also, and which we are trying to teach to the students now. Fine. And third step is practice and increase the speed of that translation in your mind. When I am speaking in English with you people, I may not realize, but my mind is doing this translation. Only thing is, the speed is so fast that neither you nor I am able to make that translation is happening. Okay, because I have done enough practice of speaking English. So it is the same thing. We learn to walk. How do we learn to walk? First of all, crawling, then trying to walk, falling down, practicing again, walking, running. Same way, any vehicle, we learn like that only. Speaking itself, we have learned that only. So you need to do more and more and more practice. There is no substitute for practice. No one is going to give you any pill or medicine that you can just swallow and start speaking English. So follow these steps which I said. First of all, increase your vocabulary. Second thing, learn how to translate. And third, translate more and more and more. Fine. Thank you. This is all for this video.